You're listening to The Sports Moment,
May 16th, 2024.
part of the Sports Moments and Memories with Craig Olson podcast. Be sure to like and subscribe so you never miss a sports moment. Sponsored by Pemberton Law and Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Lake Area Docks and Lifts, more than just docks and lifts. Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Well, Wednesday's always a light day on the local sports scene, and when it rains all day, it's really light. Everything that was going to be played is usually washed out. Well, thankfully, it was a light schedule, so there weren't any postponements necessary. One good thing, the Otter girls golf team got their tournament in over at Madden's Resort near Brainerd at the Classic, which is, by the way, according to Ben Juergens, the head coach of the Otter girls golf team, the 81st ranked course in the United States. So Otters got to play one of the top courses in the nation. And they took 5th place out of 14 teams. And medalist honors went to Annika Jerkes, no stranger to medalist honors for sure. She had a score of 77, one better than Sophia Karsnia of Brainerd, who was the runner-up at 78. Detroit Lakes won the team event. They had a score of 327. Brainerd took second with a 350. Moorhead and Minnewaska area tied for third at 357. And then the Otters and Grand Rapids in a tie for fifth with a team score of 363. Rounding out the Otters scoring, Annie Mayer had an 89, good for 14th place. Olivia Juergens with a 96, put her 29th. And Shay Katzenmeyer with the 101 ended up in 39th place for the tournament. The Otters will host the Central Lakes Conference meet at Pebble Lake Golf Course today at 4 o'clock. There's also Otter baseball today against Rocori at 5 o'clock at American Legion Field at D Lagoon Park, and Otter softball against Sauk Rapids Rice at 5 o'clock at D Lagoon. And the Otter boys tennis team is hosting a triangular with East Grand Forks and Perham coming in later today. That's a 2 o'clock start on Thursday for that. Well, the Minnesota Twins are not going to extend their series winning streak. The Yankees have won the first 2 games of that series, and the final game of the series is a matinee game today with Joe Ryan pitching. Aaron Judge was the story last night, a 467-foot home run with 3 hard-hit doubles. He drove in 2 runs. Yankees win 4-0 over the Twins, only the second time all season the Twins have been shut out. They are 2 games back of the Cleveland Guardians now in the American League Central, and they begin a weekend series in Cleveland tomorrow. And tonight, do or die, right? Win or go home. Timberwolves, Nuggets, Game 6. Nuggets can clinch with a win at Target Center. The Wolves need a win to send the series back to Denver for a Game 7 on Saturday night. They tip off tonight at 7:30. And the Timberwolves are 2.5-point favorites despite having lost the last 3 games in this series. Well, the Pemberton Law Firm is one of the sponsors of our podcast. They have 4 locations to serve you from: Fergus Falls, Wadena, Detroit Lakes, and Alexandria, and online at pemlaw.com. Pemberton Law carries a legacy of trustworthy and reputable legal representation dating back to 1883. Well, Lake Area Docks and Lifts offers premium waterfront equipment sales, service, and installation. Best quality and service at the best prices. Just ask your neighbor at the lake about Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Lake Area Docks and Lifts, more than just docks and lifts. Lake Area Docks and Lifts.
Well, we talked earlier this week about Lisa Bluder retiring as head coach of the Iowa Hawkeyes women's basketball team. She spent 24 years guiding the Hawkeyes and 40 seasons in coaching overall. She's the winningest women's basketball coach in Big Ten history. She will be succeeded by associate head coach Jan Jensen, who has been Bluder's assistant her entire time at Iowa. I had a chance to visit with Hannah Clark, who played for Lisa Bluder at Iowa, the Fergus Falls High School grad. Had 4 years at Iowa and some injuries, too, during that time. But we chatted about the impact that Lisa Bluder had on Hannah.
Yep, I just have so much respect for her. In those 4 years, whether I was playing or on the bench injured, I just learned so much about the game of basketball from her. She is so knowledgeable and has just such a knack for teaching the game and making it in a way that is understandable. But even more so, I think she just instilled so many life values and life lessons that will stick with me for the rest of my life. She was always so good at creating a culture of inclusivity and just making people feel so important to the team. Whether they were the leading scorer, the starting five, all the way down to the equipment managers, the people who helped set up chairs for the games. She really made them feel like a part of the team and a part of the reason why the team was successful. She made a point to show that, as an individual, whether or not you're really contributing out on the floor, you can be confident in all of your abilities. And so she just did a great job of instilling confidence in every single person and making you feel important. And that's one of the things that I'll take away most from her. Yes, the basketball, but she made me feel valued and just a part of the team, no matter what my role was.
As a high school player looking to continue playing in college, the recruiting process can be, I'm sure, grueling and confusing and just uncomfortable sometimes. When did you know that Lisa Bluder was the coach you wanted to play for?
Yep, really the first time I stepped on campus, I spent the day with her and the rest of the coaching staff, and it felt like home. I knew that I would be going to a place that knows a lot about basketball, but also just the culture that she created within the team. It made it easy to want to go there and be a part of that. They were successful, which that helped. But she just had a way of showing that she cared for you, that she was gonna push you as a basketball player, but also that she was gonna be supportive in every aspect of your life. And so for me, that was a big part of it. I know my parents fell in love with Iowa and the coaching staff the moment they met them, and it was a great fit right away.
How much fun has it been as an Iowa alum to watch the last few years of Iowa basketball?
It has been so much fun. I don't think I've really missed the game ever since I graduated. If it's on TV, we're watching it. But now these last couple of years, it's been fun. And I think one of the most fun things to see is, I've always been an Iowa fan. I've always watched the games, but having other people in the community start watching the games and get excited about it. So now where we used to be, the only Iowa fan around, now there's a bunch of Iowa fans as well. And so just to have that team get the exposure and the coaches get the exposure and show that how successful they've been in the years have been a lot of fun. But everywhere we go, people are always asking, "Hey, how about them Hawkeyes? Did you watch the game?" And so it's fun to get to talk to people, and whether or not they'll continue to be Hawkeye fans or they were jumping on the Iowa and Caitlin Clark bandwagon. It was still just a blast to have just a ton of fans around the area.
We're really seeing some interesting things here on the landscape with women's basketball, and a lot of it is because of Caitlin Clark. What are your thoughts on the direction that the women's basketball game is going, especially, at that pro level where Caitlin is, already making an impact?
Yeah, it's been so fun. I remember when I was back in college, Iowa had great attendance at all their games, and we thought it was amazing. And, we were playing in front of, maybe 6,000, 7,000, 8,000 a game, and maybe one time we'd play in front of 10,000, and we thought that was amazing. And now to see where it's at now, where, it's just sellout after sellout crowds, it's amazing to see. Caitlin Clark has just done a great job of bringing awareness awareness to the game, and it's shown at the WNBA level as well. But I think women's basketball it's a great product, and it's fun to watch. And for everyone to be able to, get to see that and really get to enjoy it is great for the game.
And as a coach of high school kids and middle school kids, having a role model like that, what does that mean in your sport to have someone to look up to like that
Yep.
has the credentials that she has?
It's huge. And I think one of the biggest things and ways for young players to really gain a lot of knowledge in basketball is to watch basketball. And I know sometimes for younger kids, it gets a little tough I play basketball all the time and now I've got to go home and watch basketball. But with a player like Caitlin Clark, it makes it really fun to watch basketball. And I think a huge part for young players is to watch and learn and watch a game and recognize, oh, they're in a zone defense. Oh, they're doing this. And so to have players like Caitlin Clark, Paige Beckers, Angel Reese, who are really bringing a lot of fun to the game, make it easy for young players to want to get home and watch basketball, other than, just playing in their games and practices. So that's huge. And they've just done a great job of inspiring young players, saying, this could be you one day, if you continue to work hard and try hard. And it's just been crazy to watch how young players, even young boys, just really look up to and want to become what these girls have done.
Final question for you. You played under Lisa, and her assistant coach was Jan Jensen, who's been her assistant her entire time at Iowa. She's taken over the head coach. What are the Hawkeyes getting in Coach Jensen?
Man, they struggled. They could not have asked for a better replacement for Coach Bluder. Coach Jay is just so good. And I think it's shown just the post player. She's predominantly a post coach when she was under Coach Bluder. And just to show the success that all of the post players have had under her, she knows how to develop players. She knows how to get the best out of players, and she just has so much positive energy. And I think she's going to do great. I'm so excited for her and her family. Her kids are just huge Hawkeye fans. I remember babysitting them from when I was young, and we would play basketball with an iPad with a scoreboard, and Jack was always Hawkeye players, and he was the Hawkeye team, I was the away team, and he always won. So I think they're just excited for her, and she's just going to do a great job.
And we thank you for joining us for our podcast. Be sure to come back tomorrow and check out the first of 3 parts on our Otter Hockey History podcast that you can find on YouTube, with some video and audio interviews going through the first few years of Otter hockey. It will be a 3-part series, and the first part is posted. So be sure to check that out on Craig Olson Sports Moments and Memories. Have a great day.
You've been listening to The Sports Moment with Craig Olson. Sponsored by Pemberton Law and Lake Area Docks and Lifts. Produced by Sunroom Lab. Music by Blue Red Roses. Subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and thanks for listening.